In this video, I'm going to teach you 15 words for the IELTS for advanced students. Now, it's easy to get these words wrong, so whatever you do, don't try to just shoehorn them into anything you're saying. Make sure you have the confidence to use them in your exam, and the way to do that is by using them in everyday life or your practice exams, or ask your teacher about them, or write in the comments, try and use them in a sentence and I'll give you some feedback. Let's start with the IELTS writing task 1, about a report for different texts. Perpendicular. You can use this when talking about maps in the IELTS writing task 1. Perpendicular means at a 90-degree angle to. For example, in this picture, the road is perpendicular to the railway. Penultimate. Penultimate means second to last. A lot of people think it means last. It doesn't, it means the second to last. So it's good to talk about in a bar chart for the IELTS writing task 1. In the penultimate year, the sales of bananas increased dramatically. You can also use it in a process diagram for the second to last stage. You can say something like, the penultimate stage of the process is shooting the YouTube video. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a great way to talk about a dramatic change when something has changed completely into something else. It's best used when talking about the maps. The island went through a metamorphosis. In 2009, it was an empty island, but by 2020, it was teeming with tourist facilities. Here are 3 words that you can use in writing task 2. Inevitable. Inevitable means when something is certain to happen or something that is completely unavoidable. This is a good word to use when you're writing opinion essays for the writing task 2 for IELTS. In my opinion, it is inevitable that if we bring back capital punishment, many innocent people will die. If we make homework optional, it's inevitable that students will not do it. Ludicrous. Ludicrous means when something is so outrageous, it's silly. It is a great word to use when talking about counterpoints to your opinion piece in the IELTS writing task 2. For example, it has been argued that we should get rid of all cars to save the environment, but this is ludicrous. How will we even police that? To conclude, I think it is ludicrous that we can force everybody in the world to go on a vegan diet. It would be much smarter to educate everybody on why they should eat more plants. Now let's look at some advanced vocabulary for the IELTS speaking task part 1. Now remember, in the IELTS speaking task part 1, you'll get about 20 seconds to answer questions about you. So here are some advanced vocabulary to use. Notorious. Notorious means that you are famous for something bad. It's a great way to answer the IELTS speaking task part 1 questions. For example, do you like to go out in the evenings? I am notorious for being a bit of a party animal, so I go out all the time. My hometown is notorious for gangsters and protection rackets. You may also have heard of the notorious B.I.G. or Biggie. That's where his name comes from. Oblivious. Oblivious means when you are unaware or unsure what is going on around you. So it's really good to, if you don't know the answer or you're not sure, you can say that you are oblivious to it. For example, I am oblivious to what's going on in the fashion scene in my country. Some of my family members are so oblivious of my need to learn English for the IELTS, they're always noisy. Plethora. A plethora is a large amount of something. It's almost a synonym for a lot. So if you're gonna say a lot, you can try a plethora. Here is an example. In the IELTS speaking task part 1, you might be asked your favourite something. For example, what is your favourite book? I read a plethora of books, so it's difficult to say a favourite. Or maybe you might get asked, what is your daily routine? My daily routine includes a plethora of tasks. I get up at 7, then brush my teeth, then I generally eat breakfast, then I sometimes go to the gym. Here are some advanced vocabulary for the speaking test part 2. Now in the speaking test part 2, you should really tell a story as I describe in this video. Go and check it out after this one. Bargain. Bargain can be used as a noun or a verb, but here we're going to talk about it as a verb. To bargain means to negotiate. Like in that movie with Doctor Strange with Dormammu, where we go, I've come to bargain! I've come to bargain! I've come to bargain! I had to bargain with the market seller as the price was extortionate. Or, me and my friends are always bargaining with each other about where to go on holiday. Elaborate. Elaborate is really good for the IELTS speaking test part 2 because you need to elaborate because you have to speak for 2 minutes. Elaborate means give extra details or develop your argument a little bit. For example, I would like to elaborate on that detail. He was wearing a red scarf and, so it just pushed me in the pool. Now, to elaborate a little bit, I did push him in the previous day. Anecdote. Anecdote is a synonym for a story, and it is my favourite word in this list of advanced words. The reason it's my favourite is because in the IELTS Speaking Task Part 2, you should be telling stories. So if you use the word anecdote, it'll push your vocabulary level up a little bit. For example, you can use it in this way. I have a little anecdote about my favourite teacher. One time I want to elaborate this point with a small anecdote. I was once doing this, I used elaborate again there. Check it out from earlier. Anecdote, remember it. In the IELTS Speaking Task Part 3, you have an informal discussion with the examiner and it's very unstructured. So anything could be asked, but usually they ask you to look into the future or ask your opinion on things. Here are some advanced vocabulary for the IELTS Speaking Task Part 3. Prognostication. Prognostication is basically a synonym for predict or to forecast, and it's great when you want to talk about the future. In the IELTS Speaking Task Part 3, you're often asked for predictions, so here are some examples of how you can answer. I don't like to make prognostications because I'm not a medium, so I don't really know exactly what's going to happen. Or, as much as I would like to claim the gift of prognostication, I would rather just have a guess, so I probably think that. Reiterate. Reiterate is my second favourite word in the advanced list because it means to say again or to restate your answer. In this video, I go through the DEAR method, which means direct answer, explain, example, and restate the question. So a really good way to restate the question at the end of the IELTS Speaking Task Part 3 is to use to reiterate. It gives you much more vocabulary and it's a great word to use. For example, so to reiterate, yes, I have blocked somebody on social media before. Quite a lot of people, actually. Superfluous, which just means unnecessary or more than enough. And it is just a really fun word to say. Superfluous. Have a go at saying it. Superfluous. How fun is that? I think a lot of IELTS vocabulary in this video is superfluous. It is only good if you learn it correctly and use it naturally. IELTS examiners are superfluous. I'm just joking. Again, only use these words if you are confident enough to use them in the IELTS speaking, which means practice them. Use them in day-to-day conversation. Have a go in the comments at using one or two of the words that I taught you today, and I'll give you some feedback if you're using it correctly or incorrectly. Check out this video or this one, they're both really good. Good luck and smash those exams.